Hi, we're going to look at White Queen as it began, again taken from Queen's second album, Queen 2 from 1974. It starts off with a harmonised guitar. To get round that, we can play on the 19th fret of the E string. We're going from 19 to 17, so we've got that out. And then from that 17 to 15, and from 15 to 14. Like that. Kind of get round that guitar harmony, harmonised guitar bit. Then kicks off with an acoustic guitar. We're just going to be playing it on the electric, but we'll start off with this phrase. Really, we've got our middle ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. On the A string, we're going to hammer on from an open string to the 2nd fret, and then just play through them notes. And then we're going to play a D, and from the D string, so we've got that. And then we're going to play a G to D, from a D to E minor, then a D again, open D, open G, open B, to D, to D, to the open G, B and E strings, and then G5 power chord to open A and D string, E suspended 4 to E minor, E minor 7 by taking my ring finger off, to D. So all together we've got then leads to the electric guitar part, for which is probably the most famous part of this, an instantly recognisable guitar part on this particular record. It's probably best for the structure of this is to put the guitar tab on the screen. If you're watching on a mobile device and the annotation don't come up, if you look in the information, the description, there should be a link to the blog, which I'll put the guitar tab there so you can follow along. We're starting off on an A minor chord and we're playing this phrase to a C/G chord. I'm on like an A, but I'll put my thumb on the 1st fret of E and playing like a F7, little finger on the 4th fret of G, like that. So I'll play that through again. That's played once, and then as the verse starts, it's played through a further twice. We'll then get to this bit, which I'll play through. Oh, that was wrong. I'll play that through again. A minor chord, again I'll put the guitar tab on the screen. So A minor, going to a G, to C, to G, A minor, to D, to A minor, to D, to A minor. Then it's more of a distorted guitar, but we're going from a G bar chord, and we're going to go from a G bar chord to a D by, to a D, to E minor, again from G to D, A suspended 2, or probably a E suspended 4 chord, sorry, to E minor, to G, D, first finger on the 2nd fret of G, ring finger on the 4th fret of D, to E minor, from G to D. So play that through again. And that leads us to our main guitar. Which I think is played twice. I may be wrong there, I'll have to check. But always work with the record, never take anyone's word for it. I think one of the biggest mistakes you can make is by going from your memory of the record, and a lot of the time if you go from your memory you end up only being able to play something that sounds reminiscent of your song, and when you compare it against the record or you try to play with a band, you find that a lot of the time you've made some mistakes. So always play it along with the record. We then kick into an acoustic guitar solo, which again I'm just going to play on the electric, but I'll try putting the guitar tab on for the screen for this. But the acoustic solo, it's kind of got a very improvised feel about it. But these are kind of the notes that are being used in this solo. Starting off on the 7th fret of the D string. So we've got that 7. We're going to the 9th. We're bending it up to the 11th, but we're not playing it yet. We're bending it up to the 11th. We're hitting it and releasing it. Back to the 7th. We then got this phrase. Again on the 9th, we're going to bend up to the 10th, release to the 7th, to the 9th, to the 10th. We're then going to the 12th. We're going to pull off to the 10th, to the 9th, to the 10th, pull off to the 9th, to the 7th, and then to the 7th of A. So we've got that kind of. We then got this on the G string. We're bending up, and then so that's on the 7th fret, bending up to the 9th, release, pull off onto the 5th, go to the 4th, play the 5th, pull off onto the 4th, hammer onto the 5th, pull off to the 5th, to the 7th, 9th, pull off to the 5th, pull off to the 7th, 5th, 7th, 9th. So we've got that. Like that. We're then going from the 9th fret, we're going to slide into the 11th, to the 8th of B, to the 10th, to the 8th, to the 10th, sliding up to the 12th, and then we're going to go to the 10th. So I'll play that again. We've then got this phrase, starting on the 9th, pulling off to the 7th. Which is quite simple. On the 9th, pull off to the 7th, slide into the 5th, hammer on the 7th, pull off to the 5th. We've then got this phrase. 5th, this is on the G string, sorry. We've got the 5th, 7th, to the 8th, and then we're going to like on between the 8th and the 7th, to the 5th, so we've got to the 5th, to the 7th, to the 4th, 5th, 4th, 2nd, open, 2nd. We've then got this phrase. Little finger on the 12th fret of the E, 10th fret, 8th fret, and we're pulling off. Sliding to the 7th, hammering on the 8th, pulling off on the 7th. So we've got 10th fret of B, moving to G, 9, 7, moving to D, 10, 9, 10, 5, 7. So we've then got this phrase, which is on the 7th fret of G. I'm going to be bending that, 5th fret of G, to 7, to 5, to 7, bending up to the 9th, release, 5, 7. We've then got this phrase, pulling off the 7th to the 5th, 4th, 2nd. We've then got this phrase, it's quite simple, bending up to the 5th, release to the 2nd, 4th, pull off to the 2nd to the 4th, bending up to the 5th, release to the 2nd. And then the end of the acoustic solo, we'll kind of have this phrase, loosely based that, but we're dealing with bending up to the, on the 4th, bending up to the 5th, release, pulling off to the 2nd, 4th, 5th, 4th, 2nd, like that. That leads us to now our electric guitar solo with an overhead driven guitar, which kicks off with a run. Like that. Played quick on that one, I'm going to play it slowly so you can hear what the notes are. Starting off on the A string, 7th fret, moving to the D string, 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, moving to G, and we're now going to play 4, 6, 8, 11, then we're going to move to B and play 4, 5, 7, 8, and then on the E string, the 5th and the 7th. So we've got that. We've then got this phrase. So we've played that run, we'll then go to the 12th fret of the B string. We're going to bend that up to the bend up, release, go to the 10th, go to the 12th, so to the 10th, move into the E string, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. Finishing on the 10th, we're going to go to the 18th fret of the B string, and we're going to go, so 18, then we're going to go 17, 15, and then on the G string go 17, 15. We're then going to go to the 17th fret of B, so we're going 17, bend up, come down, go to the 15th, the 17th, go to the 18, 17, 18, to 15, to 17, and finish on the 17th. So we've got that. Like that. Quite a nice solo to play. If I just check my notes, we're now going to finish on, if you listen to the record, is actually harmonised. So we're going to get around that by just playing the chords. The lyrics are my goddess, and we're going from an A minor, my goddess, to C. So we're going A minor, G, to a C, G, A minor, to D, to A minor, to D, to an A5, A5, D, D, A minor, G, D, D, A minor, G, D, A minor, G, D, A minor. And that is how to play White Queen as it began. So as always, thanks for watching, and I hope that helps you be able to play that song.